Tupac's alleged murderer was just arrested, and you won't believe the shocking information that has been revealed. Not many cases are revisited after so many years, but Tupac's murder case isn't like the rest. Justice is about to be served, as a major suspect in the case has been arrested and may never see the light of day again. Keep watching till the end of this video to see details about Tupac's alleged murderer arrested and jailed. Trust me, you don't want to miss this.
Before we get into the video, I want to give a quick shout out to the #1 celebrity jeweler, the Ice Champ. The Ice Champ is doing a special deal for the next 24 hours on diamond watches, chains, and more. Follow at the Ice Champ on Instagram now.
Tupac's alleged murderer arrested and jailed. Tupac Shakur has been 6 feet underground for about 3 decades, but his murder investigation was never completed. But now it appears that Tupac's soul can finally be at peace, with his killer being arrested and put behind bars. The main suspect in Tupac's murder, Dwayne Keith Davis, popularly known as Keefe D, was arrested on September 29, 2023 by the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department on charges related to Tupac's murder in 1996. While Keefe D is only now being arrested for the crime, his name has always been associated with the murder due to some of his suspicious behavior from years back. Keefe D has admitted to the crime in interviews and even boldly wrote in his book, Compton Street Legend, that he was present in the Cadillac from where the bullets were fired that ended Tupac's life 27 years ago. The Las Vegas PD told the press that Keefe D gave himself up and they had little reason to doubt his guilt in the murder. The LVPD referenced Keefe's interviews and the book where so many details were revealed and have made him a suspect since 2018. Keefe had been successful in evading the police until July 2023 when law enforcement secured a search warrant in connection to the murder investigation. The police searched a Las Vegas home that was owned by Paula Clemens, Keefe's wife. The police seized several items from the home. The items included a copy of Vibe magazine that featured Tupac, tubs of photographs, a computer hard drive, cell phones, and several .40 caliber bullets. The LVPD revealed that the execution of the search warrant and the items seized provided them with sufficient evidence to present to the grand jury. The grand jury was then easily able to indict Keefe with 1 count of open murder with use of a deadly weapon with gang enhancement for his involvement as one of the men who murdered Tupac in a drive-by shooting near the Las Vegas Strip. The LVPD released Keefe's mugshot just hours after he was arrested. Keefe was jailed without bond after his arrest and is being held until his initial court appearance, which is scheduled for October 4th. Details are yet unknown as to whether Keefe has been able to secure legal representation ahead of his court date. Metropolitan Police Department Lieutenant Jason Johansson held a press conference shortly after the arrest. He described Keefe as the caller of the shots in the plot to avenge his nephew's unjust punishment by Tupac and his crew. Johansson said Davis orchestrated the plan that was carried out to commit this crime. Johansson revealed that a violent incident which occurred at the MGM casino caused the beef between the 2 Los Angeles gang rivals, namely the Southside Compton Crips and the Mob Piru. Keefe's and Tupac's crews were members of the gangs. Both gangs were in Las Vegas the night of the murder to watch a boxing match between Mike Tyson and Bruce Seldon. Johansson said that the incident led to the retaliatory shooting death of Tupac Shakur. Shocking reactions to Keefe's arrest. While Keefe's arrest has led to many reactions from social media, a few important people who were close to Tupac before his death also described their feelings. Tupac Shakur's sister, Shakur Shakur, seemingly had a lot on her mind as she released a lengthy statement. Shakur stated, "This is no doubt a pivotal moment. The silence of the past 27 years surrounding this case has spoken loudly in our community." She continued, "It's most important to me that the world, the country, the justice system, and our people acknowledge the gravity of the passing of this man, my brother, my mother's son, my father's son. His life and death matters and should not go unsolved or unrecognized. So yes, today is a victory, but I will reserve judgment until all the facts and legal proceedings are completed." Shakur then concluded, "There have been multiple hands involved, and there remains so much surrounding the life and death of my brother Tupac and our Shakur family overall. We are seeking real justice on all fronts." Another notable person who had something to say about the incident was Jada Pinkett Smith. "Now I hope we can get some real answers and have some closure. R.I.P. Pac," adding a white bird emoji. Tupac's dark and lengthy criminal record. Tupac Shakur's death was a big loss to the world, and he was killed at a very young age, just when his fame and revolution began to accelerate. But it's as clear as day that Tupac was definitely not a saint. He was caught up in all sorts of violence and occult behavior. When he wasn't being locked up for assaulting a woman, he was being arrested for physically assaulting a man. He seemed to be continually breaking the law. One of Tupac's criminal cases began when the rapper pulled out his registered Colt Mustang during a confrontation he had in California. He supposedly ended up dropping the weapon, but a member of Pac's entourage picked up the gun and a bullet was fired. Tragically, 6-year-old Quade Walker Teal was killed by the stray bullet. Tupac was immediately arrested for the incident, but the charges were later dropped after he agreed to pay a settlement of between $300,000 and $500,000 to the parents of the child. On April 5, 1993, Tupac was locked up in a Michigan jail for 10 days after he was arrested for beating another rapper with a baseball bat. Just months after he was arrested for physical assault, Tupac was arrested again. On October 31, 1993, he was arrested for a shooting incident that happened in Atlanta. The incident involved two off-duty cops. Mark Whitewell and his brother Scott were crossing the street when they were almost knocked down by a car. The officers got into a verbal exchange with the driver and its passengers, and Tupac happened to be one of them. There was no firm evidence of who pulled out a gun or fired shots first, but the fight escalated, and Tupac shot one of the officers in the abdomen and the other in the buttocks. Tupac escaped a jail sentence because the charges against him were later dropped because it was discovered that the officers were intoxicated and carrying guns taken from the police evidence room. Tupac didn't end the year on a good note as he got arrested again in November of 1993. He was arrested for weapons charges and for abusing a 19-year-old woman that he met at a New York nightclub. Tupac, along with 3 of his friends, allegedly sodomized and assaulted the woman. He was sentenced to 18 months to 4.5 years in prison, but ended up only serving 9 months at the Clinton Correctional Facility in New York. Tupac got locked up again after he was arrested in November of 1994. Pac was meant to star in the movie Menace 2, but during production, he punched the movie's director, Alan Hughes, in the face, which got him a 15-day stay in jail. The same year that Tupac was murdered, the rapper got himself arrested and sentenced to 130 days in prison because he violated the terms of his bail release. Tupac's crimes did not seem to lessen his fans' admiration of him. He was always celebrated for speaking out against the government with his music and for giving people hope and belief that black people could be treated right. Tupac became even more famous in death because of how his music has shaped the lives of so many.